How we doing? Good afternoon, evening, and good night. You always say that because you mess it up, just like in the Truman Show. Thank you very much for joining us here. It's Wednesday, so it's time for the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So definitely check it out. Not just social media, but all media. Ravori Sports blog. So we definitely do this every week as well. So Ravori Sports blogspot. So definitely check that out. That's publishing every day, 6 a.m. every morning. We're going ahead and doing that. Hopefully, close to monetization there. So we will see about soon. Over 100 people on YouTube, over 900 on Twitter. So let's get those numbers up past the 1,000 mark on Twitter, past the 200 mark on YouTube as well. Also, uh, if you haven't checked it out, ravorisports.company.site. That's our flagship, what I like to call it, on our website as well. So definitely Orioles jerseys as well on there. Could be a uniform change as well for the Ravens. Rumor is, so we'll see about that. See if we can get some new merchandise for some new Ravens jerseys. So definitely check it out. Genesis Notary Services, if you know, you know, in Winchester, Virginia, as well. So definitely check those things out as well. If you are in Winchester and you do need notary services, get calls every week about that. So we want to thank all of you guys for getting that as well. And see, Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. On a little late, you could probably guess. Maryland game just ended. Terps now 2 in a row over Iowa. Diggy Colt playing well. Plays well, they win. So definitely check that out. We'll go ahead into Terps tonight as well. And so thank you, all of you, this weekend for watching this weekend. So definitely check it out. We had a lot of our streams. We had our Super Bowl stream. We had our stream about our jerseys and has the new site revamp. We definitely had our first Ravori Sports podcast. This week, we are going to have our Ravori Sports podcast with Josh Strecker from Section 336. So definitely check that out. If you haven't done so already, definitely check it out. Josh was nice enough to go ahead and give us some thoughts on the Orioles, tell a little bit about his story, which I think is very fascinating as well. So definitely check all that out as well if you haven't done that. All right. So let's go ahead and get it squared away here. Ravori Sports Podcast. So last week we were talking about the draft in the NFL and all that other fun stuff. So this week we talked about who the Ravens would be targeting, and now we're going to talk about who's actually going to be Baltimore Ravens. So definitely we're going to go ahead and go into that as we go to free agency that's coming up soon. But tonight we're talking about the draft, one of my favorite events all year, probably a content creator's favorite event as far as the NFL draft. So definitely we're going to go over NFL draft targets. Now, not going to go over every position and everything as far as all over the board, but who are the Ravens be targeting early in the draft? Get you familiar with some of the names that are going to come up here in the draft early in the draft. So definitely check that out as well. So who are some of the guys that are going to be available early in the NFL draft? So keep that in mind as well. Next week, we're going to do our first mock draft. So definitely check that out. We're going to go over the NFL mock draft from beginning end, from first round, anyway, 1 to 32, all the teams from 1 to 32 NFL draft mock, first mock, number one. After that, we're going to do Ravens mock draft the week after that. First Ravens mock draft, we'll go ahead and do that. Most of the time, though, the drafts will be on the same stream. So we're going to do the NFL mock draft, and then we'll do the Ravens one. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and square this away for you. What is going on with the Twitter here? You can stand there and you can upon it and your big coach and truly talking or What is going on with the Twitter here? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and get to it. So definitely the Ravens. What positions are they going to be looking at? Wide receiver is definite need for them to go ahead and go forward. So definitely two. Receiver draft. I don't think the receivers I've seen when I've been looking at it are as good as they are last year as well. Definitely two. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Rashad Bateman in the offseason. They do have an extension for him. Could they be moving him now with a new coach? A lot is on the table here, right? You got no John Harbaugh here, so maybe you're making some changes. First round, number one, I think he will be. I don't know if he'll be there when the Ravens are picking, but Mekhi Lemon, I think, is the real deal. This is probably the best receiver overall in the draft. Route running, not as good as maybe the 2 and 3, but blazing speed. Definitely two. As far as you want the burner, you want somebody that's going to get upfield. Best separator, I think, as well. Not as big as maybe you want, a little smallish. Route running needs some work, but great separation. Great separation. Definitely the guy who's the difference maker. You could see a similar to me, not an exact comp of Jackson Smith and Jigba JSS from the Seattle, that type of guys. I think he was kind of slept on a little bit in the draft, but blazing speed um, definitely be talented in the NFL. Also, to Carnell Tate is a guy interesting. I think Carnell Tate. Um, Definitely because he played at Ohio State, I think some people are going to overrate him. Sometimes, as bad as it sounds, sometimes you can do that with Ohio State players because they have so much talent there, etc. He had Jeremiah Smith on the other side. He's pretty good, though. I think he's fundamentally sound. I think he's really good. I think he's like best case scenario, like a Stephon Diggs. Not tremendous speed, but he's a good combination of a lot of things, does a lot of things well. Tate, I wouldn't put him as a high first rounder, but I think a mid first rounder. Definitely somebody I think the Ravens would look at. I think he also worked well with Zay Flowers, having him on your team. Jordan Tyson as well. Jordan Tyson, I think, is the best technical receiver in the draft. No question about it. Definitely, like if you want head fakes, like block, kind of reminds me not as much cheating as Hines Ward did, but kind of the same way. Kind of like did very a lot of savvy to get open. Got a lot of route running. Knows how to break off the line of scrimmage. Knows how to fool DBs, etc. A lot of that. Third, not great speed. Excellent with the 50-50 ball. He's got great speed. Not great speed and not great some injury history. So I think that's going to scare some teams off from picking up really high. Seeing a lot of places where he's the number one. I don't have him that high because of those things, but number two, definitely these three for sure in the first round. Denzel Brown from Washington. Again, I think he just needs to put it all together. He looks a little green to me, I think, when I see him. As good as he is, good speed, good athletic. I mean, if you're talking about a Spartacus type of guy, that's what you want. Kind of like a DK Metcalf. I'm not calling him DK Metcalf quite yet, but that type of build and everything, great speed as well. He still looks a little green. Even like you talk about Mekhi Lennon not being the most polished, Denzel as well. Concepcion from Texas A&M, I think good. This is a very late one. I think he's more of a 2 as well, along with Zachariah Branch as well. Certainly, I would say more with Todd Monken's offense if he was still here. That would be one. But definitely a Zachariah Branch, a guy that there's certainly is going to be slept on. So I think the Ravens early, maybe like a second round, those last two as well. Definitely keep your eye on those guys as well. Tight end. So you're losing possibly Isaiah Likely. You're possibly losing Charlie Kolar. Maybe you need to draft a couple of tight ends in this one as well. So keep that in mind here as well. Would they take a tight end in the first round? I think it's possible. I don't know if they will, but certainly possible. Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon as well. All of the talent that they have in Oregon. This guy, definitely the best tight end, complete tight end in the NFL draft so far this year. I definitely think that is. I think there's a pretty good distance this year from him and everybody else. I don't think there's anybody else that you really take early as well. Everybody else, I think, on the board is a solid 2 or below. Eli Stowers caught passes from Diego Pava in Vanderbilt, so definitely a solid choice. I think definitely I think he's a mid 2. I think 1 is even that's two, but mid 2. I don't love the speed of him as well. Good combo guy though, does a lot of things well. Um, Dallas Goddard, I think high end for him as well. You never know, but as well. Really like Max Clare from Ohio State. Max Clare, I think when I see him, I see a little bit of a Dennis Pitta as well. He's not going to get you great yak every time. He's more of a dropping, what they call uh, 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 catch and drop guy, right? For a tight end spot. See a lot of him makes tough catches over the middle, get you that yard, gets those tough catches. He's not going to give you great yak. I think there's some potential there as well to be a little bit more. But it's about third round. After this third round, Michael Trigg and Jack Andrews, Penn State as well. Andrews, I think, has some upside. Little concerned. I think, again, kind of a little green. I think to pick him any higher than that. Not tremendous speed, but a lot of potential there as well. Cornerback class. The cornerback thing is kind of being slept on, I think, for a lot of people. I really think like the cornerback thing, you're kind of sleeping on a lot of these guys in terms of what they can do. Um, as far as what we need. Marlon Humphrey issues there, may not come back, maybe having to ask to be taking a pay cut. Jair Alexander really didn't work out. Awuzie was good last year, but he's a free agent. Uh, Maybe you need at least 1 or 2 corners, but I feel like nobody's talking about that. So definitely something that they want. And I know nobody wants corners. They keep doing it, but it's still maybe a need for you. 3, I think, in the first round for sure. Mansour Delane, LSU. These 3 guys are very, very close, I think. Delane is probably your best on ball outside guy that you have in the draft. Probably your best one in man to man. Now, not as many teams play man to man, but if the teams that are playing man to man a lot, you would take them like Kansas City, like Seattle, somebody like that, where you actually go on the island. I think this is probably the best option as well. It's close. It's really close. Jamon McCoy from Texas. I'm sorry, from Tennessee. I'm sorry, from Texas. I think it's again really close. It really depends on what teams you go to. Which really close these two. Avian Terrell of Clemson. I really like him. I think for some reason there seems to be a bit of a bias against Clemson guys and LS and USC because the teams didn't perform as they hope. When I'm looking at the tape of a lot of these guys, looking at these videos, there's a lot of good players on those teams, and I think I could absolutely have him as a number 1 guy. But I think Delane's just a little bit better on the outside. I think he's more of a zone guy. I think he'll do better in zone, a little bit more aggressive in the short area. Terrell, I think that's interesting. Colton Hood, I think definitely could go in the first round as well, kind of shooting up draft boards. Good here in the postseason as well. Getting looked at as well. Brad Chase, South Carolina. I'm not in love with this as much as well, but definitely top 5. I think when you talk about the first and second round, you have to you gotta take guys out on guys on the outside. I would say you have to do it, but you want to take guys that are outside that have that potential to be the Revis Island, the Deion Sanders, etc. So you want a guy like that, go ahead, do it. And I think D'Angelo Pons, I think, was the best player on the team that just won the national championship. On the defensive side, Pons, I think, definitely he's a force multiplier. You could put him in a lot of spots. Excellent, maybe the best nickel cornerback in the draft. I think he could play outside with small as well. That's why he's a little bit lower. Offensive tackle, Mal- I was gonna say his ring wrong. Malaluga from Miami. I don't understand why this guy isn't easily the number one pick as far as the offensive lineman. I keep seeing Spencer Fino's name. I think it's pretty wide margin. The body type is, I think, a bias. I think in baseball, when you have guys that throw underhand, there's a bit of a bias against their talent. And I think Mulligan, when you have his body type, I think is a bit of a bias. I think it's pretty easy for me that he's the number one guy. Spencer Fano, I think, is really good as well. I think you could probably serve him best to put him on the right side. Um, I definitely think he's got a lot of talent there as well. This is easily a first round pick. Caden Proctor, some people, again, body type, you may want to kick him in the guard as well. You're going to keep hearing that arm length, probably like huge 350, 360. Definitely has all the size in the world. I think worst case for him, he's a Morgan Moses in the NFL. Caleb Lomu from Utah, I think is outstanding player in his own right. I think both the tackles from Utah are really good. I think both of them could go in the first round. I think both of them can almost start right away. Monroe Freeland, maybe everybody else doesn't have him as high, but I really like Monroe Freeland. Things I'm sorry. He looks pretty ready to play left tackle to me. I think the run blocking, I think, is a bit of a concern, if anything, but not a lot. I love his feet. I love the way he looks at left tackle. I think he's really being slept on as well. I don't. The strength I don't is the only thing with him is the strength I kind of don't. I don't know. He could wind up like Will Campbell where he needs to get a little stronger as well. But the feet, the footwork, and I love it with Monroe Feeling. Isaiah World, it's a it's a $5 cab ride to get around him. This guy is huge. Definitely, you talk about guys like Final Amelia, Proctor, even Proctor looks small. Isaiah World, so they got some big guys playing it as well. Jennings Dunker, I think first round is a bit high unless you're going to play him at guard. I think him at tackle. Look, can't go wrong with Iowa tackles. Can't go wrong with Iowa offensive lineman as well. If you want an offensive lineman, you want to look at a position. Kirk Ferentz as well. Pretty easy here as well at guard. Vegalone, we're just calling that. That's his full name. But this is probably the guy you're looking at if you're the Ravens at 14 for offensive guard as well. That's it. I don't think there's anybody else at that height. He is good. I'm seeing some people don't like his feet and all that. I'm not seeing that. His feet, I think, are excellent. Again, I like Molly. I think there's a little bit biased because he's, not doesn't have that Ronnie Stanley type build, that Miles Garrett type, but he is got great feet. I think you've seen him in a game. He was playing actually at tight end. I like him a lot. I think he's an outstanding offensive tackle as well. Guard, definitely easy first round. This is the one. If you are going to look at this position in the first round, if you're the Ravens, this is it. Mario Paragon, I think, is probably a little bit later in the first round. I don't think you take him early. I think probably later, maybe like the Squealers or the Eagles or something like that. If he's there, that's an option. If they're really looking at that, maybe they're looking at some help as well. Or if the Ravens trade down, which is why he's here as well. The rest, I think you're looking at the second round. Chase Bonders, Caleb Rutches, DJ Campbell. I think the second and third round. So if you don't get one early in the first round, I think definitely you're looking at a second round. This is 9-1-1 prime need. You Andrew Voorhees and Daniel Falele, that ain't gonna work, bro. You got to do something at guard. I think your biggest need, I think, is right here, the edge position for the Ravens. So definitely look at it. Ruben Bain probably be gone, but man, that would be such a fine. For some reason, I think he may drop a little more as well. To me, he's the best player in the draft. I think if as far as a big boy, he might be number one to me out of everywhere. The problem with him is he's a really true 4-3 end, and I don't know how. I think you might lose a little set with him with all this hybrid stuff with teams. I don't think as many teams would use him, so I think that's maybe why he'll drop a bit. He's not going to drop past Eric DeCosta as well. Bailey is more of a guy that's being used more in the league now. Outstanding pass rusher, outstanding production, double-digit sacks last year. Texas Tech, definitely a game record. Jumps out on the film. Like, there's no missing Bailey. Sometimes you watch film and you need him to circle like the guy. You don't need anything with Bailey. Bailey, you can see it right away. Cash's House, same 11 sacks last year. Texas A&M. I actually think the Ravens could take him. He definitely could be there at 14. Definitely similar to Bailey, not quite as explosive. That's why I have him a little bit low, but similar. Parker, not as good this year during the regular season. 5 sacks down from 11. Clemson, not as good. Good in the camp, Senior Bowl, and everything, etc. That's pretty good. So you look at that. Hakeem Messidor was terrific. I think the only reason he's not higher is because he's older, and kind of the same thing with Bain. Had Bain on the other side. That pass rush in Miami was the reason they got as far as they did. That's absolutely true. Kendrick Falk, I see him higher on boards. I am not quite as high on him. I need production, like, as well. I've kind of seen this movie a couple times with guys like Oway or Sidney Stewart, guys like that. Great bodies, great this, athleticism, and not enough. No, that's. I think the potential certainly, and sometimes they fool you, but I think it's definitely there. Definitely, athleticism is there, no question about it. As good of an athlete as anybody on the list. Derek Moore is going to be interesting. Played with Jesse Minter at Michigan in the defense, and I think played with Jesse Minter at Michigan, and also had a very good Senior Bowl week. So he kind of moved up about 15 spots, very dominant there as well. So he can maybe move to second round. I don't think you take him early in the first round, but definitely solidly in the second round. I see him on some of the thirds. I think he's going in the second. One last section, the EDC special is what we're going to call it. So these guys are not need spots, but I definitely think they could be taken if they're there. Jeremiah Love, I think, is a stud. I think definitely they have to consider that if that's at 14. Avell Reese, I think, is going to be gone for sure. I'm not sure teams know how to use him as much as these draft guys keep saying everybody's going to take. He's a special talent that has to be used a certain way as well. I do believe he will do it. Caleb Downs is an outstanding safety. I do believe they'll take a safety. I know they will. I don't want that, but I think they'll definitely do it. Caleb Banks, Peter Woods as well. Banks, again, excellent Senior Bowl as well. I think he's definitely moved into the first round. Peter Woods, I like him. I think I like everything I've seen. Again, I think they weren't as good this year, so I think there's a bit of a buy. I'm missing where this guy should be moved, falling that much. I think excellent talent there as well. There you go. So those are the targets. Those are the guys the Ravens are looking at in the 2026 draft. We're going to keep covering the draft as well. Next few weeks, first mock draft, and the second Ravens on our first Ravens mock draft. So we'll definitely go over that as well. For the last time, we'll talk about it during the course of the year. But the Super Bowl was last Sunday, and so we have a new NFL champion. The Seattle Seahawks as one. So shout out to Coach Mike McDonald and the Seahawks to actually getting that done last week. Yeah, get that up there. 29-13. Game really wasn't that close. Drake May and them, they got some garbage time touchdowns as well. This was an all defensive battle. Special teams as well of the Seahawks getting it done. 5 field goals from the kicker, Jason from Myers as well. I kind of agree with the narrative. The moment was a little bit too big for the Patriots. A little bit too big for the Patriots. Drake May hadn't been there before. Vrabel, as good as coach he is, hadn't been there before, and it showed as well. They really just did not have any answers for Seattle's defense. They just were doing whatever they wanted to do in this game. So shout out to the Seahawks actually getting the Super Bowl as well. Covered that a lot already, but definitely check it out as well. So definitely they're going to get the first home game, the 32nd pick as well. Patriots overall, no reason to hold their head. No reason to hold their head. Much better from improvement from last season. They definitely have, I think, the best, maybe one of the better quarterbacks in the league going forward. They definitely need to improve their offensive line, make some improvements. I think they're definitely there. Them in Buffalo are going to fight it out in that division. All right. Terps, real quick. So I've had a chance to watch Terps basketball. So shout out to the Terps getting their first 2-game win streak. We just saw it tonight as well over the Iowa Hawkeyes as well. Winning the last game. Let me get the score as a matter of fact. 77-70. Terps go to 10-14 now. Iowa had a 7-game winning streak. They've lost now this game as well. Dickie Colt tonight was, I thought, terrific in this game. I think he had 19 points, 30 minutes. He's probably really the only guy contributing for them offensively off the bench. Darius Adams has been kind of steady, kind of getting better. Andre Mills has been getting better. So as well, I will say this. Whatever talent they don't have, I will say this about what I've seen with Coach Buzz Williams. These kids are playing hard for him. That's a fact. They're, despite the fact, probably no tournament. You're what? Yeah, 10-14, no tournament most likely, but they're hustling. Solomon Washington hustles every time, every night. Elijah Sanders, I think he needs to bring his temper in a little bit, but he hustles every night. Andre Mills plays hard. Dickie Colt plays hard. Darius Adams plays hard. So he's got a group of guys that are playing hard, working hard for him. That's the thing he's starting. It does seem the last few weeks that they're kind of breaking through to find what he's trying to do, because he wants to play defense. He's just playing guys where I can get some defense as well, and get the defense going as well. Thursday, Ohio State, not their night, but they pretty much again neutralized Colt where he really didn't score. Their guards were really good. I think Mobley and Bruce Thornton for Ohio State really played well in that game. The center, Chris Tilley, I thought was really good in that. Minnesota, I thought they defensively, I thought that was the best game I thought they played all season long. Defensively, he's trying to get good defense. I think they really showed up defensively in that one. So I thought that was very impressive. The fact that they had good defense, I think, in that one, playing well all the way through. So they seem to have found something here last few weeks. Now the schedule is, again, part of it could have been the hard schedules here early. Very difficult. So we will see if they can turn it around. Schedule's easing up a little bit. Rutgers, you do have Nebraska's the top 10 team, but going to play Illinois, but could wind up a little bit more respectability. Not wind up as the worst team, right? Record-wise, that won't happen. So we'll see. But two good Big Ten wins here. I thought this was their best win of the season tonight as well. So shout out to the Terps in this one. Let's talk a little NBA. So now that the football season is over as well, let's go ahead and move to the NBA. So definitely to the NBA is kind of keep an eye on the NBA here when we have after the football here. So keeping an eye on it. I did an interview this week with Evan Brogdon. For those of you watching right now and driving to the top, definitely the Cleveland guy had a long talk about the NBA. What's going on? Some strange stuff is happening. Like is well. I wonder. Some of these teams lack focus, or some of these organizations lack focus. Some goofy trades, the James Harden trade last year, the Anthony Davis trade, some weird stuff. I don't know. But I could say, let's go over right now. We're going to talk about the All-Star game, but the 5 best teams in the league right now in the NBA. Let's go over that as well. My Los Angeles Lakers. This is honorable mention. Okay, so Lakers aren't in the top 5. Um, LeBron, I think, called out his team here the other night. I don't know why everybody was so upset about what he said. Where was the lie? They're not a championship level team. You have Luka Doncic, who's all world. You have LeBron, who's fantastic, and they can't defend. That's true. When you play Oklahoma City or one of these two teams in the top 5, they're not as good. They're gonna score. I mean, they're definitely going to score most time. I mean, definitely with Doncic and LeBron. I mean, you can't not, but they're definitely going to score. The only thing I think where people are picking on LeBron, I think he is struggling with his role a little bit. First time, he's not the greatest player on the court all the time. So that's a thing. But the Lakers, I think, are around as well. Golden State is not around. They're too old. I don't want to talk about those. The Knicks, I think that was a mistake getting rid of Thibodeau. It really was. They're good. And Brunson is good. Brunson, I'm kind of not sure if he's the best guy on a championship team. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but I think that's the thing. They're tightening up on defense. But again, why'd you get rid of the guy that as well? I'm not a big fan of Mike Brown. I do think that with the talent that they have, though, they should be worth watching. Cleveland, not quite as good. They made the ridiculous trade, I think, for James Harden as well. With Donovan Mitchell and Harden, though, I think there's enough there. Can they get it done when the lights are bright? I do think in the East there's a vertical there for a shot. I don't think there's a lot of really good teams in the East, so that's a thing. The Celtics, shout out to them even being even in this section, honorable mention, without Jason Tatum. That's going to hurt them. No disrespect to Jayden Brown by himself. I don't think there's a lot else there. Everything else for them is kind of dipped down, I've noticed, without Tatum. As they're playing more minutes, playing more roles as well. They're not accustomed as well. And the Timberwolves, I think, pretty good. I think probably in the East they're much higher, but in the West we'll see about that. So I think those teams are worth talking about as well. Number 5, Detroit Pistons. Pistons. Look, we know how good Kate Cunningham is. I mean, I think that's a fact. So I think this is definitely the best team in the East when I think the East is a bit down as well. Duncan Robinson, old head, vet. There, good outside shooter. Tobias Harris, a vet that's helping him out as well. Chris LeVert from Brooklyn Ashard. I think Cunningham is just going to go. We're going to find out how good this guy. 25 points a game, 7 assists. He's got a little bit of a donkish factor as well. And the East isn't that great. So, again, I think that's it. I'm going to put them in the top 5. I think they're the best team in the East. All the rest of the teams in the West. I wanted to put more, but I just couldn't do it. Rockets are very good. Rockets are nobody's noticing how good of a good young team the Houston Rockets are. Houston, nobody's noticing it because Durant is there. Durant is, what I kind of like in this too, like what I'm seeing with Durant here right now. It's not that, and I got the old school logo there, right? Not the current logo. But what I'm kind of noticing with Durant there is kind of similar to, it's going to sound bad in some ways, like Jordan with the Wizards. He doesn't have to be Kevin Durant that you thought he was 10, 15 years ago every night. Jabari Smith is there. Thompson's there. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of young draft picks there that are really playing well for them. So he doesn't have to carry the load for them to win all the time. So that's good. So I think the Rockets are clearly right there in the tough West as well. Rockets number 4. Nuggets number 3. Look, you got Nikola Jokic. I think you got a shot, like as well. That just tells you all you need to know. Murray, I think, is. I've always wanted to see a little bit more from him in terms of being that elite player. sometimes your expectations, etc., are just too high for players as well. So Murray, 25-8 this year. He's been outstanding for them. I don't know if I put him in the overrated category or underrated category, but that's been enough for them. I'm definitely going to sleep on them. Record isn't as good as the Rockets, but I feel definitely comfortable putting him in the 3 as well. The Spurs. I'm a Laker fan, so I guess I'm not supposed to like the Spurs, but I'm having a hard time not liking this young group of the Spurs. Best young group in the league outside of OKC. You talk about Wembanyama really growing right before us. Their young picks, Dylan Harper, growing right before us, coming off the bench as well. Stephon Castle, etc. They play defense. So Popovich is gone. Mitch Johnson, I think, could be one of the best young coaches in the league, best coaching job. The formula hasn't changed to San Antonio. Big fundamental as well. And they're the only team that really has figured out how to beat, one, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Beat them on Christmas Day, beat them a couple times with that mid-range stuff. But let's not get it twisted. The Thunder have, I think, the best player in the entire NBA, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think fantastic. Missed a couple games of injury. This team, they defend like better. I think them and the Spurs, I think the reason why they're 1-2 is everybody defends. They don't just look at the Lakers as a total opposite. Like, they can score, but they won't play defense. These guys share the ball on offense, shoot the mid-range shot, shoot the deep ball well. They have size, defend well on the perimeter, on the outstanding stuff. Definitely still like the Thunder, although the Spurs are going to give them for the run for the money. There you go. Top 5 teams in the NBA. And we got an all-star game that is coming up. It's a little different. Okay, so this year, I believe it's 4 games. So you got 2 U.S. teams, Star Stripes versus an international team of the world. They're going to play in a 3-team round-robin tournament. So we've never seen this in terms of an all-star game. So 4 12-minute games total. USA Stars versus the world. Game 1 winner plays USA Stripes. Loser plays winner plays USA Stripes. Loser of game 1 plays USA Stripes. 2 teams will hit the records base advance to the championship. So USA will play the world. Stripes will play the 2 middle games. If they win, they'll play in the finals. Winners of the games will play in the finals of an all-star game as well. Tiebreaker, if all teams finish in 1, the top 2 teams will be determined by point differential. 24 all-stars, 9 players per team. Interesting. If you want effort, you don't have 15, 16 players. You got 9 guys. So that's good. Incentives as well, 1.8 million prizes on the line, $125,000 player incentive for the winning team. Stars, J.B. Bickerstaff, Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Durant, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey. It's a young group. So you're not seeing LeBron, Durant, etc. It's happening. You're seeing the young guys taking over as well. Stripes, here's your vets. Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Norman Powell. This probably would be the favorites, I would think. I think people think they're going to win, right? So you got Curry, you got Durant, you got the names. They were very good in the Olympics, etc. Mitch Johnson as well, the coach of the Spurs, best record, I think second best record. So I definitely think this is the team you would assume is going to go ahead and take it the world. Oh, there you go. Team World International coach Darko Rajovic as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Demi Avala, definitely a guy, really one of the most improved players in the league. Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Shea Gilgeous, Alexander, Jamal Murray, Pascal Siakam, Carl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama as well. Nothing wrong with these guys. Really good, talented group as well. I think the U.S. and the world, that first game is going to be very, very interesting as well to see who wins. So I think you're going to see a all-star game where guys try a little bit harder or a lot harder, where you see guys actually do things differently. They're going to have to play. They're not going to have 15, 16 guys. They're not going to be able to sit the bench the whole time. What is it? So they're not going to be able to sit the bench the whole time. So it'll be interesting to see that how that goes as well. NBC has the game. Interesting. So would be cool, right? If you really want to go nostalgia to have Marv call it. But I'm sure Mike Tirico going to do a good job calling the All-Star game as well. Lots of player movement as well. Next week with the NBA, definitely work. We'll talk about a lot of the NBA well before we start baseball here as well. Who are the best mid-season awards? So we're going to go ahead and give that out. Who's the MVP in all of that as well? Now, let's go to baseball. We're doing our list. We're getting closer. Obviously, we're gonna about to go to one of my favorite segments, State of the Franchise. But we're going to go to our list of third basemen. Who are the top 10 third basemen in the major leagues right now? Okay, so the play at third base, I think, has been elevated as well. I think it used to be just some guys could play or here and there. Some teams had them, or good teams had third basemen, and then that kind of now you're seeing it more around the league where more guys are playing third base. Interesting to see what happens with the Orioles at third base. We'll get to Jackson Holiday injury here, but I didn't have Westberg anyway. But it'll be interesting to see if he actually plays third base here. But we'll go to the top 10. Westberg, I didn't have him because of the injury issues. I think I just had a hard time putting him in. Some of these guys have issues, but I don't think they're as high as Weston. Alex Braun for the Phillies, number 10. The Phillies, again, have a lot of guys in their lineup that really help them offensively. The Phillies today told Castellanos not to come to camp, so definitely there's a trade in the works for him. So there's playing time here. Braun is a guy, I kind of call him like Matt Williams, like back in the day. For those of you who don't know, Matt Williams, third baseman for the Giants. Lots of power and punch, not a lot of average as well. He's really streaky at the plate. I think he's good defensively. He's really streaky at the plate. He has times where he looks like an all-star and he's going to break out, and he kind of has other times as well. That's why I kind of don't have him higher, because I think he's really kind of streaky. But Braun, I like him. I definitely think he helps the Phillies a lot as well.
Alani, I'm not bringing it to you.
11 home runs, 59 RBIs, 287. Yeah, this is about right. He's at number 10 for him. Max Muncy, some people are going to argue this and say it's a little high, but this guy, I think the only thing is, I think on a different team, you'd absolutely, I think, have way more production from him as well. But 243 average last year as well. 19 home runs, 243. This guy just hits for power. I think you like, and that's what you like about a guy like this. So definitely a guy, he's good defensively as well. He doesn't have to play as much or be as productive as you want, but I think Muncy, is a solid contributor as well. So I do like him as well. I think he's certainly protected in that lineup. So it wouldn't surprise me if this guy gets 20 home runs again at some point. So Muncy, I got number 9. Number 8, Addison Barger for the burgeoning Blue Jays as well, who went to the World Series last year. Barger, I think, really had his breakout season last year. Hit 243, 21 home runs, 74 RBIs. Definitely plays solid third base as well. definitely the Blue Jays had a lot of guys that really break out for them last year. I think this is going to be a bigger, more important role for him with Dante Bichette. I was going to say Bo Bichette. That's the dad. Bo Bichette, not there anymore. So I think definitely this guy really has a chance, I think, to hit 25 plus home runs and really break out even more as well. So definitely a young player with a lot of potential as well. Bichette only 26 years old. So only 26 years old. So definitely the best could be yet to come with Addison Barger. Matt Chapman for the Giants. He's been good for a while. I think Matt Chapman, I think in this lineup, they have, I would say this, the Giants, one of the problems they've had ever since Barry Bonds retired is they haven't had thunder in their lineup. You got Matt Chapman now, you got Rafael Devers now, you got Willie Thames now, you're Matt Chapman. So you definitely have the power to go ahead in the lineup. So you definitely have that there as well. Chapman, I think some people kind of look at him as disappointing a little bit, but as well compared to maybe what we thought he was going to be. He's 32 years old. Numbers, I think, across the board are decent for Chapman. I still have him in the top 7 as well. Number 6, Eugenio Suarez just signed with the Cincinnati Reds. Reds are building a little something. This guy hit 49 home runs last year. He hit 229. This guy is a dead pull hitter in terms of offense as well. So I don't know if he's going to do that again. So if I did, I might have had him higher. But the power production is going to be there, especially in Cincinnati. I think is one of the few National League parks kind of conducive to home runs as well. So I do think he's going to have a good season. I definitely liked the fact that where he went. I think he thinks so too as well. Not great defense. I don't like him a lot defensively. I don't think they care, honestly. But I think they do care about the power production that he's bringing to them. I definitely not a lot to like about Suarez here. Suarez, number 6. Number 5, Bo Bichette. Yes, that's right. He's going to play third base for the Mets as well. So it'll be interesting now. Lindor does have injury, so let's see if he stays at third with the Lindor injury. He may be out with the same injury Holiday is. But they're going to for right now they're going to play him at third. Bichette, I think this guy is the only thing wrong ever with him is that he's, his injury history. So I think that's the only thing that gave me pause. He's missed a lot of games, a lot of the time. I think last year, you saw what he could do when he's putting it all together. 311, 18 home runs, 94 RBI, 118 hits as well. He's going to play third base full time. I think that might not be bad for him, a little less physically on him. So that might help him stay healthy. I think third base, is a little less taxing as well. But a player in his prime years, no problem at all with Bo Bichette. Number 5, Alex Bregman, one of the bells of the ball of free agency as well. Now with the Cubs, I like Bregman. I think Bregman, I'm a little confused about why he's moving around so much as well. If I were him, honestly, I probably would have just stayed in Houston. But hey, gotta go where the money goes. 18 home runs, 62 RBIs, 273. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get good third base play. You're gonna get 20 plus home runs, most likely 60 over 70, 80 RBIs. This guy's gonna hit for power. We know this as well. Wouldn't surprise me. This is the point of the list where I think if you have him at 1, I don't have too big of a problem with it. Manny Machado, the only thing with him is he's getting a little bit older. So I think as well, he tends to go into funks in parts of seasons. That's the only thing I can say with him. But the numbers are always there. I mean, again, another 100 RBIs, 275. Manny's bat speed is still fantastic. Even as he's entering, even now, Manny's 33 years old. I think definitely, too, this guy is still, a guy you better you better be careful with him at the plate because he's going to make you look bad as well. But Manny's getting a little bit older, so I think that's a thing as well. Jose Ramirez, He didn't make number one on the list, but he can certainly count all his money because he just got a huge extension with the Indians. Again, kind of the same reason. I think like as good as he's been, 30 home runs last year, 283. He is the backbone, I think, of the tribe. So I don't think there's anything question about it. I think at 33, he should maintain production. I kind of say the same with him. I think definitely too. He's definitely other guys on this list. You can say you can count on 20 and 80, 30 and 100 is where this guy's going to live. Excellent batting average kind of goes up and down with him a little bit, but this guy's going to be phenomenal as well. But number one, Junior Camarillo of the Rays. He is. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about him. I don't care anything about the defense. Somebody better not go in my comments to talk about defense with this guy. 30 plus home runs. What was it? It was 45 home runs, 264 average, 110. This guy is phenomenal. I think like there's no question about it. He's still even learning. You can see it. I see a little bit when I see a guy learning. I call it like the Griffey factor. He's still, he's so talented. He's got that great bat speed, etc. Once he learns the game a little bit, he's going to be even better. But Camarillo is a star. I have him at 1. There you go. All right. And now the sound pitchers and catchers report as well. And so we're here now. State of the franchise. So we're going to find out today. Couple things real quick. As well for the Orioles. Jackson Holiday, we talked about it a little bit already. Jackson Holiday is now going to be out. They're calling it the hammer bone. He's like hand bone as well. So it's kind of like right here. If you look at your hand, like the thumb, like inside the pinky. It's right there when I looked it up there. So that's where his hand is. Jackson's probably not going to be, is definitely not going to be there at the beginning of the season. Francisco Lindor is there as well. Tomo Sagano pitched for the Orioles last year as well, signed with Colorado. So that kind of rounds that out as well. Good luck to him in Colorado as well. But the state of that franchise. And look at the cover there. Our Orioles new manager, Craig Abernathy. Definitely check it out. Ravori Sports Blogspot. We talked about 25 things, storylines going into the season. So let's summarize this as we start spring training. Before we start our spring training reports, end of last year, Mike Elias, even though he neglected to tell us, is going to be the guy still at the head. This is year 7 for Elias. He hired Craig Abernathy as managers who will bring experience, clubhouse leadership. This is his first time as a manager. Who's on the staff with him? Craig Abernathy, Drew French is back. Also, too, Buck Britton is back. So that's good. So those are guys are holdovers from Brandon Hyatt and the organization as well. Dustin Lin, Donnie Eckler, Jason Burgos, definitely first base, hitting, bench, respectively, to join them. That's the right thing. Give the manager every opportunity to build his own staff. That's absolutely the right thing. Absolutely give him a chance to go ahead and build his own staff, build his own crew as well. What happened? Who went out the door? Gary Sanchez, we just found out he just signed today as well. Alec Jackson is gone. Jorge Rodriguez, Grayson Rodriguez, not Jorge Rodriguez. Grayson Rodriguez signed with the Angels, trade for Jason Ward as well. Jorge Mateo, signed with the Braves a few weeks ago. Dylan Carlson also not back after 2025. More importantly, what's coming in? Taylor Ward signed with the Orioles from the Angels as well. Interesting that they gave up Grayson as well, but this is a guy who's productive, 36 home runs. Pete Alonso, the best signing free agent signing the Orioles have made in about the last 16, 17 years. Maybe you got to go back to Roberto Alomar, even better than outstanding. Getting a guy in his prime, Pete Alonso as well. Ron Helsey will be in the bullpen. I think is your 9th inning guy as well. So we're not going to have Felix Bautista. I don't think at least most of the year. Helsey is going to take over in the 9th inning. Andrew Kittredge is back. Shane as well. After going to the Cubs for the last 2 months, Orioles reacquired him. Shane Baz is here from the offseason as well. Traded 4 prospects to get him. Lena Tavares and Peyton Ellis as well as acquisitions as well. Top prospects. Interesting. Sam Basayo, Dylan Beaver, they don't even feel like prospects to me. They played last year. They were outstanding. I think they're going to be given every opportunity. I think Beavers is going to be your right fielder. Be interesting to see what happens with Tyler O'Neill. Basayo, I think he should stand to be the DH as well. I think that's kind of the way it looks, at least so far as well. Nate George, I think, is leapfrog. Rico Bradfield is the top outfield prospect in the Orioles organization. Bradfield, man, I was looking at Glenn Clark's show. They were killing him on there as far as that goes as well. Sorry, I got Bradfield twice. Luis DeLeon, Ike Irish, Vance Honeycutt. Honeycutt struggled a little bit last year. Irish would be interesting to see his first full season as well. DeLeon is definitely somebody you want to keep an eye on as well. Also, too, interesting to see the young pitching prospects, other pitching prospects that come through as well. 5 biggest series of the season. The opener is going to be huge, getting off to a good start. Usually don't put the opener, but I do think that's big to play the Minnesota Twins right off the bat. See how well you do the first week. Obviously, always the Yankees in May. The Yankees. You got to beat the Yankees as well. As good as the Blue Jays are, May 5th through 7th. Blue Jays are going to be tough. Blue Jays went to the World Series last year, and they looked about as any good as any World Series loser I ever saw. They're not going to have Santander this year or Bichette, and Springer's going to be older. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do. 2 to the post, I think Yankees, Blue Jays. This AL East is going to be very difficult. Dodgers is always big. Dodgers I still think they're the best team in the MLB. I don't think there's any question about that. They got Kyle Tucker in the offseason, for God's sake, as well. Phillies is going to be interesting, guys. Fans coming up from I-95 to go ahead and watch the Phillies as well. That'll be interesting to see there. To me, those are the 5 I think are the biggest ones that we look at. 5 biggest storylines. How will Abernathy do in his first season as manager? We're going to find out, too, is Craig Abernathy the manager or is it Michael Elias? Let's see how he does analytically. Let's see how he does with the decision-making. Let's see how he does with the locker room. Those are huge things as well. A lot of pressure on Hyde last year. Is it going to look different with a new manager? So definitely you have your new manager. Can Pete Alonso have an MVP season? I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think Alonso was fantastic last year. I think Alonso getting him with Gunnar Henderson as well. You know, you're not going to have Jackson Holiday at the start, but getting Pete Alonso, I think is a huge deal. Absolutely huge. How will Samuel Basayo do after the contract extension? Look, talk all you want about Adley Rutschman. They made their choice. I mean, I'm sure Michael Elias would say different as coy as he is. They would say, oh, no. You don't pay a guy the money you're paying him. It'll be interesting to see. So this is their guy going forward. You pay him 8-year extension. You've made your opportunity. This is going to be your catcher going forward. Maybe not right at the start this year. So that's the thing. Gunnar Henderson, is he going to return to form? I think so. I think Gunnar was hurt a lot last year. I think there were some extenuating circumstances around it. I would say Gunnar was not as good. I don't go for the fact that people out there that are saying Gunnar was as good. No, he wasn't. Do I think he returned to form? Yes. Especially with Alonso there. That matters. So there's no more. I did see a lot of, especially when it became clear that Adley wasn't there, not the same. They were pitching around him a lot. You're not going to do that now. You're going to have to pitch to Gunnar Henderson for sure. And again, and you're doing all this. You're bringing in Abernathy. You're getting Pete Alonso. You're bringing up these prospects. Can you get back to the playoffs? This is a playoff contending team for sure. There's no question about it. The problem is you're in a very tough division. So I think you're going to need one of these teams possibly not to be as good as you think. So that's the thing. The Yankees, are they going to be as good? The Red Sox made some moves. The 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 Braves are always seem to pull a rabbit out of a hat. We'll see. Can one of these teams actually be not as good? And can the Orioles be better? I think the Orioles for sure will be better as well. So we'll see. All right. Thank you guys for watching as well. Thank you for watching the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content.
You tell me this. I don't know what else. No.